Right.
They haven't done anything. And Macron's a friend of mine, and I've met with the prime minister, and he's a very nice guy, but nobody's done anything.
Trump and Karama are on a collision course, and the stakes are massive. Trump, known for his blunt remarks, states that Ukraine's NATO membership chances are minimal. Meanwhile, Starmer, the UK's newly elected prime minister, strongly disagrees, standing unwaveringly in support of Ukraine.
If they want to do that, that's great. I'm all for it. If they want to do that, I think that'd be fine. The UK has mentioned it, but if we have a peace deal, I think having troops over there from the standpoint of Europe, we won't have to put any over there because, we're very far away. But having troops over there would be fine. I would not object to it at all. I just signed a letter to him. He asked for a meeting, and I agreed to the meeting. We're going to have a friendly meeting. Very good. We have a lot of good things going on. But he asked to come and see me, and I just accepted his asking.
Do you have a date for that, sir? And what do you hope to
Very soon. I think he wants to come next week or the week after.
And what do you hope to discuss?
I don't know. It was his request, not mine. But,
This isn't just a disagreement. It's a serious diplomatic clash. One of America's most unpredictable leaders and Britain's resolute new face are at odds on the global stage. Could this strain this special relationship, or is it the start of a deeper divide between the US and the UK? The tension is rising, and this is just the beginning.
And by the way, Europe and other places ought to start also doing that. They better start looking at immigration because it's really hurting Europe very, very badly. And they better get...
Donald Trump has always been skeptical of NATO expansion, and when it comes to Ukraine, he's firm. If it's up to him, it's not happening. He believes Ukraine joining NATO would entangle the US in avoidable conflicts and escalate tensions with Russia. Instead of increasing military obligations, Trump sticks to his America First approach, pushing to scale back commitments.
Yeah, and he doubled down, didn't he? He labelled Zelensky a dictator in a post on social media. But... well, in a growing sign that there could be a bit of a trouble ahead for us in our special relationship with the Prime Minister. He appeared to back Zelensky, didn't he? And some breaking news this evening, which I am now finding out for the very first time, so this is always fun, isn't it? Donald Trump has slammed Sir Kier Starmer and Emmanuel Macron for...
Trump and Starmer are heading for a major clash, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Trump's made it clear, Ukraine's chances of joining NATO are slim. But Starmer, the UK's newly elected Prime Minister, won't back down. He's standing strong, fully supporting Ukraine without hesitation. This isn't just a difference of opinion, it's a serious diplomatic rift. One of America's most unpredictable leaders and Britain's determined new face are colliding on the world stage. Will this fracture the so-called special relationship, or is this the start of a deeper divide between the US and the UK? The tension is rising, and this is just the beginning. Trump has never supported NATO expansion, and when it comes to Ukraine, he's drawing a line. He argues that bringing Ukraine into NATO would drag the US into unnecessary conflicts and escalate tensions with Russia. Instead of expanding military commitments, Trump's sticking to his America First approach, calling to pull back and focus on domestic priorities. He believes NATO allies rely too heavily on the US and should shoulder more of the burden. Trump also sees Ukraine's NATO membership as a direct provocation to Russia, a move that could inflame the war rather than end it. Instead of offering more weapons or long-term military support, Trump pushes for negotiations, even claiming he could broker peace within 24 hours. His critics call this unrealistic, but his supporters see it as strong leadership, avoiding endless wars and prioritizing diplomacy. Meanwhile, Starmer faces a tough decision: align with Trump's vision or stand with European leaders. And Starmer's made his choice clear. Despite pressure from Trump to back down and accept a peace deal with Russia, Starmer is set to announce a new support package for Ukraine, including military aid and sanctions. At its core, Trump's foreign policy is a major departure from traditional U.S. strategies: less global policing, more domestic focus. He believes European security should be Europe's responsibility. If he returns to the White House, Ukraine's NATO hopes could vanish, and America's global role could shift dramatically. But Starmer isn't budging. While Trump dismisses Ukraine's NATO bid, Starmer insists it's not just possible, it's inevitable. For him, this is about standing firm against Russian aggression and keeping NATO strong. The UK has long been one of Ukraine's most vocal supporters. From Boris Johnson to Rishi Sunak, British leaders have pushed for military aid and closer ties. Starmer is following the same path, but with even stronger conviction. He warns that backing down would send a dangerous message of weakness. This puts Starmer on a direct collision course with Trump. While Trump wants to scale back involvement, Starmer is doubling down, aligning closely with European allies who fear a weakened NATO. The tension between the two isn't just about policy, it's personal. Starmer has openly criticized Trump in the past, calling him divisive and dangerous. With Trump potentially returning to the White House, their clash could reshape US-UK relations. If Trump wins in 2024, will he hold a grudge? Could the UK find itself sidelined in global politics? Starmer is betting on Europe, but if the US steps back from NATO, Britain might end up with fewer allies and greater uncertainty. Trump has never been one to ignore criticism, especially from foreign leaders. He's shown time and again that he's willing to retaliate. When Germany refused to increase defense spending, he pulled US troops. When Canada's Justin Trudeau criticized him, Trump hit back with tariffs. Now Starmer is openly challenging Trump's vision for global security, insisting Ukraine's NATO path is non-negotiable. But if Trump returns to power, the UK could face serious fallout, from economic pressure to a chill in diplomatic relations. Trump has used trade deals and military commitments as bargaining chips before, and the UK may not be an exception. If Starmer continues to defy Trump's policies, Britain could face tariffs, reduced military cooperation, and less access to crucial intelligence sharing. The stakes couldn't be higher. Starmer's hardline stance risks isolating Britain in an alliance that could shift priorities under Trump's leadership. If the US steps back from NATO, the UK may struggle to keep up, or find itself increasingly alone. Starmer's gamble could pay off, but if Trump wins in 2024, Britain might have to brace for serious consequences. Will Starmer hold the line, or will he find a way to ease tensions? One thing's certain, the fallout could reshape the future of global security.